Hello, New York Yankees fans. We have brand new exclusive videos and the latest news for you. Before we get started, we'd like to invite you to join our channel and give this video a like. It's crucial to get exclusive access to the latest updates. The rumors started quietly, like a whisper moving through a packed stadium, but now it sounds more like a roar echoing through the Bronx, because the idea of Jacob deGROM wearing pinstripes has taken over every conversation, every comment section, every late night debate among fans who live and breathe baseball. The story being told is that the Yankees have found their new muralha, a true wall on the mound, a pitcher who does not just throw fast, but throws fear into opposing lineups. People close to the situation say the front office sees deGROM not only as an ace, but as a statement, a message to the entire league that the Yankees are tired of half measures and are ready to dominate again. The speculation paints a picture of a quiet meeting, firm handshakes, and a vision sold around greatness, legacy, and the magic that only the Bronx can offer. In this narrative, deGROM is not running from pressure. He is embracing it, believing that the bright lights and relentless expectations are exactly what fuels his competitive fire. Fans imagine him stepping onto the mound with that calm, almost cold expression, knowing that every pitch could swing momentum, not just in a game, but in an entire season. The rumor feeds on emotion, hope, and history, creating a storyline that feels almost inevitable. What makes this speculation so powerful is the way deGROM is described by those fueling the rumor, not as a fragile star, but as a reawakened force, someone who feels overlooked, doubted, and ready to remind everyone why his name still commands respect. The Yankees, according to these whispers, believe that his arm, when guided by their staff and protected by their plan, can still be the most devastating weapon in baseball. They imagine a rotation anchored by dominance, where every series begins with a psychological advantage, because opponents already feel behind before the first pitch is thrown. The narrative suggests deGROM sees this as a personal mission, a chance to redefine his story and to do it on the biggest stage possible. The idea of him promising to dominate the league is not framed as arrogance, but as quiet confidence, the kind that comes from knowing what your body and mind can do when aligned. Fans on social media spin tales of bullpen sessions watched in silence, of teammates shaking their heads in disbelief, of coaches smiling because they know they are witnessing something rare. This is not just a signing in this rumor. It is the rebirth of an aura that the Yankees crave. Another layer of this speculative saga focuses on the cultural impact inside the clubhouse, where deGROM is imagined as a leader who speaks softly but commands attention through preparation and example. The Yankees, long known for demanding professionalism, supposedly see him as a perfect fit, someone whose routines would elevate everyone around him. The rumor paints scenes of young pitchers watching closely, absorbing every movement, every decision, trying to learn what separates good from legendary. In this version of events, deGROM is not isolated or distant, but engaged, invested, and driven by the collective goal of dominance. The front office, according to the story, believes that his presence alone could change the emotional rhythm of the team, bringing a sense of calm during chaos and confidence during adversity. Fans imagine how opponents would react, how lineups would adjust, how scouting reports would grow thicker, yet still feel insufficient. The speculation thrives on the idea that some talents transcend strategy, that sometimes greatness is simply greatness. In this rumor, deGROM embodies that truth, becoming not just another arm, but a symbol of intent, ambition, and belief in something bigger than individual accolades. The financial side of the rumor is also wrapped in mystery, with talk centered less on money and more on mutual commitment and shared vision. The story suggests that this is not about chasing the highest offer, but about choosing the right stage to cement a legacy. The Yankees, in this imagined scenario, sell deGROM on history, on the names etched into monuments, on the idea that dominance in pinstripes echoes louder than anywhere else. deGROM, in turn, is said to be motivated by that challenge, by the chance to prove he can thrive where pressure never sleeps. Fans speculate about conversations where he speaks of unfinished business, of proving durability, of silencing critics who focus more on risk than reward. The rumor suggests he promises not just performance, but presence, a willingness to carry responsibility and expectations without flinching. This narrative feeds into the mythos of the Yankees as a destination for the bold, for those who want their greatness tested rather than protected. The idea of deGROM dominating the league from this platform feels almost cinematic, and that is exactly why fans cannot stop talking about it. As the rumor spreads, it becomes less about whether it will happen and more about what it would mean if it does. Supporters imagine the ripple effect across the league, the way rival teams would react, the urgency it would create in every matchup. The Yankees in this speculative world are not just adding talent, they are shifting balance. deGROM is portrayed as the catalyst, the piece that transforms potential into inevitability. The narrative suggests that even his preparation days would become events, that every bullpen session would be dissected, every quote analyzed for hints of confidence or intent. Fans hang on to words like dominate and moralha, building expectations that feel almost larger than life. Yet the rumor insists that deGROM welcomes that weight, that he thrives when the stakes feel heavy. In this telling, he is not chasing redemption but affirmation, a chance to remind the baseball world that when healthy and focused, few can match his impact. The Yankees, ever hungry for legends, see him as someone who could write a new chapter worthy of endless retelling. The first part of this rumor-filled narrative ends with a sense of anticipation, like the pause before a storm breaks. Nothing is confirmed, nothing is denied, but the idea has taken root too deeply to ignore. Fans refresh their feeds, analysts argue on air, and every silence from official channels feels louder than any announcement. The story of deGROM in pinstripes, promising to dominate the league, has become a shared fantasy that feels just close enough to reality to be believable. It is fueled by history, by ambition, and by the timeless allure of greatness meeting opportunity. Whether true or not, the rumor has already done its job, reigniting hope, sparking debate, and reminding everyone why baseball thrives on stories as much as statistics. In this imagined world, the Yankees stand ready, deGROM stands confident, and the league stands on edge, waiting to see if whispers will turn into thunder. As the speculation moves into deeper territory, the second part of this story starts exploring what domination would actually look like if Jacob deGROM truly became the moralha the Yankees are rumored to desire. The narrative shifts from the idea of a signing to the vision of sustained excellence, where every appearance on the mound feels like an event rather than just another game. In this imagined future, deGROM is not rushed, not overused, but strategically unleashed, maximizing impact while preserving longevity. The Yankees, according to the rumor, see this as a long game, a chess match played across an entire season, where timing and trust matter as much as velocity and spin. Fans imagine deGROM dictating tempo, forcing hitters into defensive swings, and walking off the mound with that same calm expression, as if domination is simply routine. The speculation suggests that this version of deGROM is smarter, more efficient, and more ruthless in his execution, choosing precision over spectacle when needed. It is a vision that excites, not just because of past achievements, but because of what could still be unlocked. The idea is that the Yankees believe his best chapters might still be unwritten, waiting for the right environment to bring them out. This rumor-driven narrative also leans heavily into the psychological warfare that elite pitchers bring to the game, and deGROM is portrayed as a master of that silent battle. Opposing teams, in this story, begin planning days in advance, altering lineups, resting key players, and still feeling uneasy. The Yankees relish that edge, the way one pitcher can influence an entire series without even throwing a pitch yet. deGROM, rumored to be fully aware of this effect, is said to embrace it, understanding that dominance starts in the mind. Fans imagine broadcasters speaking in hushed, respectful tones when he takes the mound, as if acknowledging an unwritten rule of reverence. The speculation paints him as a pitcher who controls not just the strike zone, but the emotional temperature of the ballpark. In this telling, the Yankees feed off that energy, playing sharper, more confident baseball behind him. The rumor suggests that this symbiosis is exactly what both sides crave, a partnership where talent and tradition amplify each other. It is less about flash and more about inevitability, a feeling that when deGROM pitches, the odds tilt heavily in one direction. Another angle of this speculative saga explores how deGROM's presence could redefine expectations for the entire organization. The Yankees, in this imagined scenario, use him as the standard, the benchmark against which preparation, focus, and accountability are measured. Younger players are inspired, veterans are re-energized, and the culture subtly shifts toward relentless professionalism. The rumors suggest deGROM does not demand attention, but earns it through work habits that speak louder than speeches. Fans imagine stories leaking out about early arrivals, meticulous routines, and an almost obsessive commitment to excellence. This version of deGROM becomes a quiet leader, someone who sets the tone simply by being himself. The Yankees, always obsessed with winning, see this as priceless value beyond any contract figure. The speculation frames his promise to dominate the league not as a boast, but as a personal standard he holds himself to daily. It is about consistency, about showing up with the same intensity regardless of circumstance. In this rumor, deGROM becomes a compass, pointing the team toward what it means to be elite. The second part of the rumor also dives into the legacy conversation, because in New York, every great performance is measured against history. deGROM is imagined as fully aware of this, not intimidated, but motivated by the challenge of standing alongside legendary names. The Yankees, in this story, pitch him on immortality, on the idea that dominance here resonates forever. Fans speculate about deGROM visualizing moments that could define his career, imagining the roar of the crowd and the weight of expectations merging into pure adrenaline. The narrative suggests that this is where he feels most alive, where pressure sharpens rather than suffocates. The promise to dominate the league is tied to this hunger for legacy, for moments that linger in memory long after the final out. The rumor frames deGROM as someone who understands that greatness is not just about numbers, but about presence and impact. In pinstripes, every outing becomes a chance to add another layer to a story that people will tell for generations. That idea alone is enough to keep fans dreaming. As the speculation continues, it also acknowledges the risks, but quickly reframes them as part of the gamble that defines greatness. The Yankees, in this imagined narrative, are not blind to uncertainty, but they believe the potential reward outweighs every concern. deGROM is portrayed as sharing that belief, confident in his preparation and resilience. Fans debate endlessly, but the rumor insists that true domination requires boldness, not caution. It paints a picture of an organization and a player aligned in philosophy, both willing to bet on excellence rather than fear failure. The idea of deGROM as a moral hub becomes symbolic, representing strength, reliability, and intimidation. In this telling, the Yankees do not just want wins, they want an identity, and deGROM fits that vision perfectly. The speculation grows stronger with every retelling, fueled by hope and imagination, blurring the line between rumor and expectation. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The story closes with a sense of unresolved excitement, because that is where rumors live best, in the space between possibility and reality. Fans are left imagining deGROM standing on the mound, promising dominance not through words but through action, wearing the uniform that magnifies every achievement. Whether this tale becomes truth or remains speculation, it captures something essential about baseball fandom: the hunger for heroes and the belief that one player can change everything. The Yankees, deGROM, and the league itself are woven into a narrative that feels bigger than any single moment. The whisper has become a roar, and until clarity arrives, imagination fills the gap, painting a future where Muralha rises in the Bronx and dares the entire league to try and break through. The second part of this rumor gains even more intensity as people start imagining how Jacob deGrom's presence would ripple beyond the mound and into every corner of the Yankees universe, creating a narrative where dominance becomes an expectation rather than a surprise. In this speculative storyline, the organization is said to believe that deGROM changes the emotional gravity of the team, making opponents feel smaller and moments feel bigger. Fans picture opposing hitters stepping into the box already carrying doubt, aware that one mistake could end their night early. The rumor suggests that deGROM thrives on that silent fear, that unspoken respect, and that he understands how to weaponize it without ever saying a word. The Yankees, according to these whispers, are not just signing a pitcher, they are acquiring a psychological edge that cannot be measured by traditional metrics. This imagined version of deGROM does not chase perfection, but controlling pace, rhythm, and confidence. Supporters talk about how his calm demeanor could settle the entire defense behind him, making routine plays feel automatic and difficult plays feel possible. In this rumor, dominance is not loud or flashy. It is methodical and relentless, built pitch by pitch, inning by inning, until the opposition feels suffocated. As the speculation deepens, the conversation shifts toward how deGROM's approach could redefine preparation days and off-field routines within the clubhouse. The rumor paints a picture of a pitcher obsessed with details, from recovery to mental focus, and the Yankees are said to welcome that obsession as contagious. Younger players in this imagined scenario watch closely, learning how elite professionals manage energy and pressure over long stretches. Veterans, inspired by his commitment, are rumored to raise their own standards, understanding that complacency has no place around someone who promises domination. Fans imagine stories leaking out about intense bullpen sessions, quiet film study, and an almost ritualistic approach to game planning. The narrative suggests that deGROM does not seek to be a vocal leader, but becomes one naturally through consistency and discipline. The Yankees, long associated with demanding excellence, see this alignment as perfect. In this speculative future, the clubhouse atmosphere becomes sharper, more focused, driven by the understanding that every detail matters when greatness is the goal. deGROM's presence becomes a mirror, reflecting effort back at everyone around him. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.